All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about the new Google Pixel 10, but specifically, we're diving deep into its camera system. And really, it's not just about taking photos anymore. The whole idea here is that you've got an AI creative partner right there in your pocket, one that helps you set up the shot, capture the perfect moment, and maybe most importantly, helps you trust the photos you see online.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You get everyone together for a group photo, the lighting is just right, the background's perfect, you snap the picture, and then you see it. Yep, someone blinked. Or maybe they weren't smiling. It's that classic, frustrating moment. Just hang on to that thought, because we're definitely coming back to it. So here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to follow the whole journey of a photo. We'll start with what happens before you even press the button, composing the shot. Then we'll look at the magic that happens at the moment of capture. After that, we'll see how AI has totally reimagined editing, check out some cool Pro Tools, and we'll finish up with something super important, trustworthy photos in the age of AI.
Okay, let's kick things off with part 1, composing that perfect shot. This is all about the new tools and upgrades that are designed to make you a better photographer from the very start. First up, let's talk hardware. Big news here. The standard Pixel 10 now gets a 5x telephoto lens. That is a huge deal for getting those really sharp, clean shots from a distance. And if you go for the Pro or the Pro XL models, you're getting an even better optical image stabilization system. We're talking double the range, which means your videos are going to be incredibly smooth and your photos way sharper, especially when you're zoomed in or shooting in low light.
Now here's where things get really interesting. We're moving beyond just the hardware. The Pixel 10 actually wants to make you a better photographer. I mean, what if your camera wasn't just a tool, but it was actually your teacher?
Well, that's the whole idea behind this new feature called Camera Coach. It uses Google's Gemini AI to literally look at what you're pointing the camera at, and then it can suggest different angles, maybe a new composition you hadn't thought of, and it'll even walk you through step by step how to get that shot. But here's the genius part. It's not just telling you what to do, it's teaching you why. So you're actually learning the fundamentals like composition and lighting and becoming a better photographer every time you use it.
So, the camera has coached you, you're in the perfect spot. Now, what happens in that split second when you hit the shutter button? Well, that's where the real magic kicks in. First off, remember that 5x telephoto lens? It's now standard on every Pixel 10. That means you get clean, crisp, optical zoom that gets you right into the middle of the action. But that's just the baseline. With a little bit of software wizardry they call super res zoom, you can push that all the way up to 20x. You'll be capturing details from super far away. And if you've got one of the Pro models, oh, this is where it gets absolutely wild. ProRes Zoom takes you to an unbelievable 100x. We're talking about capturing details on things you literally can't even see clearly with your own eyes. So how in the world is a 100x zoom even possible without looking like a blurry mess? Well, the secret sauce is in the new Tensor G5 chip. For the first time ever, it's running something called a diffusion model right on the camera. Just think of it like having a tiny AI artist inside your phone that intelligently reconstructs the image, filling in details with incredible accuracy instead of just, stretching out the pixels.
Okay, let's go back to that blinking person in the group photo. Remember that? Well, this is Google's answer. It's a feature called Auto Best Take, and its one and only job is to make sure you never have to say, okay, let's do one more ever again.
So here's how it works under the hood. The second the camera sees a group of people, it starts analyzing a burst of up to 150 different frames. In seconds, it finds that one perfect moment where everybody looks great. Eyes open, smiling, the whole deal. And get this, if that single perfect moment just doesn't exist, it will intelligently take the best faces from different frames and blend them together into one flawless photo. It's just brilliant.
So you've used the coach to compose the shot, you've captured the perfect moment with Auto Best Take, but your creative process is not over. Now we get to see how AI is completely flipping the script on what happens after the photo is taken.
This might be one of the biggest leaps forward in photo editing I have ever seen. Seriously. Instead of messing around with all those confusing sliders and tools, you can now just ask. You just describe the changes you want in plain English, and Google Photos does all the heavy lifting for you. So for example, let's say you took a photo through a car window. You could literally just say to the app, remove the glare, brighten a photo, and add clouds to the sky. And boom! The AI understands what you mean and does all of that for you in one go. It's a total game changer.
All right, beyond all those headline-grabbing features, the Pixel 10 is also packed with some really powerful tools that give you more control no matter what kind of photographer you are.
Let's run through these real quick. If you love shooting landscapes, panorama mode can now use that 5x telephoto lens to create these massive 100 megapixel images. For accessibility, Guided Frame gets a huge upgrade from Gemini, giving blind and low vision users way more detailed audio descriptions to help them frame a shot. And finally, for you Pixel Fold users, Instant View is a neat feature that lets you see your last shot right next to your live viewfinder, which is great for workflow.
And that brings us to our final section, which honestly might be the most important one of all. With all this amazing AI power, a really critical question pops up. In a world full of AI-generated content, how can we ever trust that a photo is real?
Well, the industry's answer is this technology called content credentials, or C2PA. The easiest way to think about it is like a secure digital birth certificate for an image. It's an open standard that embeds a history into the photo that you can't tamper with, showing exactly where it came from and every single edit that's been made along the way.
And here's the big news. The Pixel 10 is the very first phone to build this standard right into its main camera app. So for every single photo you take, it creates this secure metadata right there on the device. It documents the photo's entire life story, and you'll be able to check that information right inside Google Photos.
And this is why it's such a big deal. The goal isn't to stop people from creating things with AI. It's about providing transparency. It gives all of us a tool to actually verify where an image came from and what's been done to it. And that is a huge step toward rebuilding some trust in the digital world we live in.
So as we wrap this up, it leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. Your camera can now coach you on your composition, it can perfect a group photo for you, it can edit a picture just based on what you say. It's less of a tool and more of a creative partner. Which makes you wonder, as AI gets woven deeper and deeper into this creative process, what does it really mean to be a photographer anymore? Something to chew on.